Welcome to Zane, Trusty's TrackTalk, where every track tells a story. There are voices in music that don't just sing songs, they touch the soul. Karen Carpenter's voice was one of those, pure, warm, and hauntingly beautiful. With her brother Richard, she formed the Carpenters, and in the 1970s, their songs like Close to You and We've Only Just Begun became timeless classics. But behind that angelic voice was a tragic story of struggle, pressure, and ultimately, heartbreak. Karen was born in 1950 in New Haven, Connecticut. Growing up, she actually dreamed of being a drummer, not a singer. When she and Richard started performing, Karen sat behind the kit, letting her brother lead. But it didn't take long before the world realized that the real magic was in her voice. Richard once said that when Karen sang, it was like God whispering. As the Carpenters rose to fame, their wholesome image and gentle sound set them apart from the rock-heavy era of the 70s. Fans adored them, but critics often dismissed them as too soft or uncool. Karen felt that sting, but she kept smiling for the cameras. Behind the scenes, however, Karen was fighting an invisible battle. The constant pressure to stay thin in Hollywood, the cruel comments about her weight, and her own insecurities led her down a dark path. She developed an eating disorder, anorexia nervosa, long before the world even had the language to fully understand it. In public, she looked poised and perfect. In private, she was wasting away. Friends and family noticed her dramatic weight loss, but Karen often brushed it off, insisting she was fine. Even as her health declined, she continued to record and perform, pouring all her emotion into the music. Her struggle with anorexia was complicated by the times. In the 1970s, eating disorders weren't widely recognized as serious illnesses. Doctors, managers, and even loved ones often underestimated the danger she was in. Meanwhile, Karen was also dealing with heartbreak in her personal life, a short-lived marriage, and her longing for a family that never came. By the early 1980s, Karen finally sought treatment and seemed determined to turn her life around. Friends recalled that she was excited about recording again and even hoped to find love once more. But the years of damage to her body had taken their toll. On February 4th, 1983, Karen Carpenter collapsed at her parents' home in Downey, California. She was just 32 years old. The cause of passing, complications from anorexia nervosa. It shocked the world. Her passing was one of the first times many Americans even heard the word anorexia. Her passing not only robbed music of one of its most iconic voices, but also shined a spotlight on an illness that had remained hidden in the shadows. Karen Carpenter's voice lives on through every note of Rainy Days and Mondays, Superstar, and so many more. But her story is a reminder of how fragile even the brightest stars can be. This is Zane, Trusty's and TrackTalk, where every track tells a story. If Karen Carpenter's story touched you, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you won't miss the next story. Because behind every song, there's a story worth telling.